Hi, good morning everyone. Let's get started with the next topic for this training, which is on SAP Client Admin Tools. So which are the tools in SAP for client maintenance? Okay, so let's get into it. Basically, the client copy and client transport tools are designed to replace the data of one client with data from another client. They are not designed to combine the data of different clients. So take note of this major difference. And client data is categorized as either a client dependent customizing data, could be a user master data, it could be an application data as defined by the data tables delivery class. Application data can only be copied with corresponding customizing data. Profiles define the table to be copied to the delivery class of the table. Special data like user masters and variants can be selected by specifying the criteria. Okay, so here you can see for a particular client, these are the client specific data that we are talking about. You have the client's user master data, you have the client's application data, you have the client dependent customizing. Okay, the customizing specific for a client dependent. Now, in case if you want to build a new client, say for example, this is out of the box client which is 000. You want to create a new client, say client 200, client or client 500, whatever client you name. So you need to copy this. You need to make sure that you have some user master. You want to create a copy. You need application data. You need client dependent customizing. So you have an option to copy this as a base. Okay, so from there you can start building it up. That is one example of client copy. Okay, now client copy and transport tools. Okay, so across the system you are copying it. Here you have one source system. You have a different target system. This is your repository. This is your client customizing. Now what you are trying is you are trying to copy this client specific data. Okay, if we are copying within the client, it's called a local client copy. If we try to copy in a different server, different host, it's called remote client copy. Okay, just take note. Basically, SAP provides three tools for copying data between clients. Local client copy between clients in the same R3 system. So it's within the same R3 system. Remote client copy between clients in different R3 systems, so we are copying into the different R3 system. Client transport between clients of different R3 systems. Okay, so client transports between clients of different R3 systems. So remote client copy and client transport differ according to the way in which data is transferred. Okay, so in both the cases we are copying it, but it's a bit different. We'll go through that. So in a remote client copy, data is transferred directly between the source and target using the RFC square network connection. And in a client transport, data is exported to a file at the OS level, and at some future time the client is imported from the file system to the target system. So this is the difference between the two. Here basically we have an RFC connection, we can build the client, and here it's exported to a file and later we use this file to build a new client. Okay, so when you using the client copy tools, the data you can select to be copied includes, we just saw it's user master data, it's customizing, that is client dependent customizing, and application data. The R3 objects such as the ABAP programs are not transferred with the above tools. Development objects can only be transported using change requests. Okay, so the client copy tools can copy the following component of the source client into the target. Okay, so basically user master data. User master is only deleted in the target system profile with user master data is copied. Authorization profile and roles belonging to the customizing are therefore always copied with customizing. Okay, so basically here we are seeing the copy profile SAP underscore user contains the authorization profiles and roles. Customizing, basically here you can see that all profile except SAP underscore user contains customizing. Customizing data is generally in the tables with delivery class C, Z, E, and okay, so we have seen this profile. Now cross-client customizing, choose a profile with this data type. For example, when you want to create a test system which is analogous to the production system and no system copies to be made. Master transaction data, select the option, for example, if you want to set a test system from the production client. Okay, now here you can see these are the different standard profiles which is available. Okay, SAP underscore all, basically if you want to build a client with client specific data without change documents. SAP underscore APPL is basically for customizing an application data without change documents. Then SAP underscore cust is basically the customizing. Okay, so you can see that SAP underscore UCSV is customizing user master records and user variants. Okay, UCUS is customizing and user master record, and at the bottom you can see SAP underscore user is user master records and authorization. So whenever you do refresh of the system or system refresh is done, what you do is you take a backup of, you take an export, client export basically for SAP underscore user, and once the system is built you can import this. Okay, so that is a client transport which is exported out. Okay, these are basically the table delivery classes. Okay, so these delivery class affect client copy within the same system, between system, transport between SAP system, and transport from SAP's SAP system and to customer's SAP system. Okay, so let's see these delivery classes. You have class A is for application data, class C is customizing table, maintenance only by customer, not SAP import. Class L is for storing temporary data. Class G is customizing table. Okay, so basically these are the different delivery classes. Now let's get into the examples. Okay, local client copy. We just saw what happens in the local client copy. Okay, here you have this is your local client copy. This is the profile that you want to copy, and source client is this, destination source client user master is this. So let's see, let's get into the system and show you how this works. Okay, so basically this is basically for building a client within the system. Say for example you have a client, say for example 000, and you want to build a client, say some 560 or some other client, any other client, could be 001, 002. Okay, so let's see in the system how it looks like. So basically we can go from either from here, or we can just type the T code, which is for the local copy, it is SCCL. Here you can see it's a local client copy. Okay. Target system is a productive and protected against client copy. So basically this is what you are going to see. Target client, it will ask what is the target client, what is the profile we can select. Okay, what is the source client, what is the source client's master, and whether initialize and recreate the record, run the test run, restart mode. So this is basically the information which is required to be supplied. Okay, so let's close this and say for example if I go here and go to this T code to basically change the type, the property of this particular system. Okay, if I just come here and I go to the details and I will just make this as a test system. Okay, the moment I make this a test system and I type the same command, you can see the difference. Okay, here this is a target client. Okay, select profile, you can select the profile. These are the different profiles which are available. We just saw that SAP all is all client specific with change document. SAP underscore APPL is customizing and application data. Okay, then you have customizing, you have user master. Okay, say for example I select user master. What is the source client? So from which client I want to copy? Okay, we just need to specify the source client. Okay, so say for example this is the source client. If I can select this to run it in background, it's a test run, so basically it will tell what type of resources is required. Do we have enough resources to run? Do we have enough space in the system to run? And all that information. Okay, so once that is fine, we'll be able to client copy will be able to proceed. So let's go to the slide. So here you can see a local client copy copies between clients within the same R3 system. Okay, both a local and remote client copy must be initiated from the target client, assuming the following steps. To create an entry for the target client in the client maintenance table. So as a step one, what you need to do is you can create an entry and you can log in into that client with password as SAP star, user as SAP star, and password as pass. Okay, once you are there, you can go to the transaction called SCCL and initiate the client copy. Okay, so once that is done, basically to ensure data consistency, you may not log into the target client during a client copy. SAP recommends that you do not work in the source client during a client copy. Okay, take note that SAP delivers the software with standard client 00 and 001. You may not work in client 00, but you may use client 001. However, SAP recommends that you begin R3 implementation by creating a new client as a copy of client 000. Okay, so local client copy, how do you do that? First step, create a new client, go to SCC4, create a new client, log into the new client, run the command SCCL, initiate the copy, select the profile that you want to use for the copy. So that will take care of the local client copy. Okay, now remote client copy. Okay, remote client copy allows you to copy between clients in different systems. You can use a remote client copy to, for example, transport client dependent data as well as client independent customizing data between R3 systems. A remote client copy proceeds in the same way as a local copy but sends all the data through an RFC connection to the target client. Remote client copy is easy to set up and doesn't require the file system space on an OS level. Limitation is basically a remote copy client doesn't create a file at OS level, so there is no hard copy of the client to be copied. Okay, so that is the limitation. Later we'll see the T codes for how to execute all these things. Okay, now let's see the client transport. We just saw the remote client copy, and in client transport what happens is that you will see 3 transport requests created, and these will be the 3 transport requests. It's one with this name, that is SID KO, then number. This is basically for cross client tables. Then you have SID S, then SID KT, then number, S SID KX, then number, basically for client specific tables. Okay, then data files will be, these will be the data files for that, there will be the command files for that, and they will be stored at the OS level. And later, whenever you want to build a new client, you can use this for building it. Okay, so a client transport differs from a remote client copy in that it doesn't use RFCs like a remote client. copy. However, client transport is used to copy data between different R3 systems. A client transport consists of two steps. First, a client export. Okay, a client export extracts client data from the source system to files at the OS level. Second step is the data is imported from the operating system files into the target client. Okay, so basically these are the three transport requests that will be created and it can be taken to the target system for import. Okay, now import processing, you can go to the T code called SCC4, SCC7. Okay, and you can transport these requests and build this particular client. Okay, so basically log on to the target client and activate post import processing. The client transport import process. So depending on the data selected to the client transport profile, the client copy command files added to the buffer of the target system are these. So the moment you import this, new client will be created, and after that you can do a post processing. So during client transport, a repository consistency check can be performed by clicking the RFC check button in transaction SCC8. If inconsistencies are detected, a list of the above dictionary table listed missing in the target system is generated. Okay, profile selection. You can select a particular profile. Okay, these are the different profiles which are available in the system. Just take note of them. System requirement, basically you can run a test run to find out do we have enough CPU memory, do we have enough space, do we have enough disk to perform this activity, and will there be any inconsistency if we perform this. Okay, so that is about the system requirement. Client copy logs. To display all log files from a completed local or remote client copy from the R3 initial screen, what you can do is you can go to this copy logs and see the statistics, or you can go to this view as well, that is v_cc flow. Okay, now client copy monitoring and troubleshooting. Basically you need to verify that the database resources are sufficient. You need to make sure that there was no termination happen, and if it is a termination, you need to restart the process. Check tables using database utility, and tables not in development class will go into $temp. Now client delete, how do we perform a delete? How we do a delete, client delete? Basically the T code which is used is SCC5, and deleting a client use background processing. What is deleted is data, the SAP script, the batch inputs, but the entry from the SCC4 is not deleted, you need to manually delete it. Okay, client compare. Basically when you build a new client or you have dev your QA environment, you can compare whether what are the changes between this client and another client. Okay, you can use a T code called SCU0 for that. It will give you a list of the differences between the two clients. Now authorization object. This is a key thing, especially for the basis admin to take note. To perform a client copy or transport, you need the following authorization. First thing is S_tab_u_CLI allow you to maintain cross-client tables. Then S_tab_u_dis allows you to maintain table v_ccc flow. S_client_import allows data import when performing client copy, and S_dataset_all allows you to perform a write activity, and S_tabu_rfc allows you to do client comparison and copy, that is data export with RFC. And to copy user profiles or user master, you need the following authorization, that is S_user_pro for user profile, S_user_group for user master records. If you want to export a client or if you want to copy object list between two clients, you need the trust authorization S_trnsPRT. Okay, then here you can see that what you will get if you use a particular profile. Say for example, say SAP underscore user, you will get only the user master. Say if you want to customizing data and initialize and recreate, go for SAP underscore custom. If you go for SAP underscore all, you can see what are the things you are going to get. Okay, so basically this is chart is telling if you select a particular profile, what are the things copied. Okay, we have seen these delivery classes, and these are the T codes which I wanted to you guys to take note of it. We have seen SCCL for doing a local client copy. SCC9 is for remote client copy. SCC8 is for client export. SCC7 is for post processing. Okay, and we just saw SCC4 as well for doing a client maintenance. SCC5 is for client delete. So these are the basically T codes for doing client maintenance activities. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover in this particular session. Thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.